But we cannot make the mistake of ever saying that the tashkil are a part of the Quran. Unless you are a jackass. Unless you are a jackass. You cannot say that the tashkil are a part of the Quran. So I have departed from this. The overwhelming majority of the scholars of Islam and the Muslims.
He that Allah guides, no one can misguide. And he that Allah misleads, no one can lead. I see what you see not.
When we looked at the Basmala in the past, this is the phrase Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, which means in the name of God, the Beneficent, the Merciful One. So we previously looked at it under the discussion of 19, and we saw that there were 19 letters that make up this phrase. If we look at this same opening phrase, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, we notice that it comprises 4 words. And if we count the letters that spell this word in the Arabic, in the earliest text that we have, we see that the first word, it comprises 3 letters. The second word, which is the name of God, Allah, comprises 4 letters. The third word, Ar-Rahman, comprises 6 letters. And the last word, Ar-Rahim, also is written with 6 letters. So when we look at this in the way in which this is presented in the Arabic, we have a number which is 664-3, amalgamating these digits that count the number of letters in each one of these words. And this number 6643 turns out to be a perfect multiple of 7. The Basmala itself is interesting in that when we looked at it from the point of view of 19, we saw that it conforms to a pattern of 19, and now we're seeing that it conforms to a pattern of 7, but at a deeper level. So going deeper, we see that the 7 appears.
That's as deep as Dr. Shabir Ali and others can go. They don't know how to move on the board from this point. Allah is directing your attention to the number 6643. 66 times 43 gives the code 2838. The code 2838 connects us with the first 3 events that takes place in the beginning of Muhammad's revelation. This code 2838 confirms the 3 main events which occurred in the Islamic tradition: Muhammad at Cave Hira, Muhammad before Khadijah, and Muhammad before Waraka bin Nawfal. If we add these values, we get a total of 2838. 6643. Now look at the board. The first is the code 92, and the last is the code 529. 92 is Muhammad, and 529 is Miftah, key. 92 plus 529 equals 621, which equals Al-Fatiha, the opener. The Basmala, 66 times 43 equals 2838. I published a video not too long ago called The Science of Al-Fatiha. In this video, I show how when you pair up the Basmala and add the standard, ordinal, and reduced values, you get a total of 2,580. I also show that the science is built on 150 letters and words, which is the same code for the name Muhammad, 92, 38, 20 equals 150. Now, the question is, who is the ultimate source for this revelation? It is Allah. And Allah, standard, ordinal, and reduced, gives 108. So, Allah 108 plus Muhammad 150 equals 258. Same as the science of the Basmala.
Have you ever done that?
Now take the 2,580 of the Basmala and add it to the 258 of Allah and Muhammad, and you get a grand total of 2838. 6643.
Have you ever done that?
One of the most interesting things of the Basmala is that it acts as a compass. So we demonstrated how taking the first layer of the basmala without tashkil, diacritics, and pairing it up with the basmala with the tashkil, diacritics, gives the value of 2,580. This 2,580 is built on 150 letters and words, as you see clearly on the board. If we add 2,580 to 150 letters and words, we get 2,730, which gives us the precise coordinates to the next and last time the basmala appears in the signs of the Qur'an. And that's chapter 27 verse 30, where we read in Solomon's letter the basmala again.
Have you ever done that?
So the first basmala, 2730, in chapter 1 verse 1, sends us to chapter 2730, which is also 2730, where we read in the letter of Solomon, 273, the last time the basmala, 2730, occurs in the signs within the text of the Quran. If we take these numbers 273 and mirror them, we get a total of 2,580. Which brings us right back to the initial basmala. What comes from Allah and Muhammad goes back to Allah and Muhammad. And the basmala plus Allah and Muhammad equals 2838. 6643. Alhamdulillah.
Have you ever done that?
Here you can see how the first layer, when binded to the second layer with its diacritics, gives a precise science of the basmala, 2,580, which connects precisely with Allah and Muhammad, 258. The basmala, 2,580, plus Allah and Muhammad, 258, equals 2838, 6643. Then we have those who come along who do not understand the knowledge of the signs and make foolish statements such as this man.
How can you say that the tashkil is a part of the Quran unless you are a jackass? You cannot say that the tashkil are a part of the Quran.
It is clearly obvious that this man doesn't even understand or have knowledge of the opening verse or the very first sign of the Quran, which is the basmala. And if I might add, which is part of the greatest chapter of the whole Quran, the foundation of the book.
And so I don't care 2 peanuts for those who believe that my method is misguided. You have this verse.
معلوم أن من قال إن القرآن ينقص منه حرف أو يغير فيه شكله فهو كافر بالله لأنه مكذب لله في قوله إنا نحن نزلنا الذكر وإنا له لحافظون. فهذا يدعي كذب الله تبارك وتعالى في حفظه لكتابه. فمن ادعى أن القرآن ينقص حرفا واحدا أو غير فيه شكله فقد خرج من الإسلام وكفر بالله العظيم. الروافض من الشيعة يقولون إن القرآن الذي بين أيدينا ليس هو الذي أنزل على رسول الله.
Have you ever done that?